elementary school so long ago that some of my former students are now in their 50s. And two of the questions that I hear most frequently, because most of my career, all but 4 years, was here in Lancaster County, is, "Are you Mr. Yoder?" And when I say, "Yeah, I am," "Do you remember me?" And that's kind of tough, because somebody at 10 years old doesn't necessarily look much like they used to, that they look when they're now 45 or 50. So I look at them and I say, sometimes I can say, "Yeah, Erica's mom is sitting right down here." Sometimes I can say, "Erica, I know you." And sometimes I say, "You got to give me a hint, at least give me a ballpark, like where and when." And sometimes I remember them, name pops out, and sometimes, boy, I'm struggling. And I feel really, really, really bad, because we spent a lot of time together, and I can't remember that kid's name. As I was driving here tonight, I was thinking about this young man I met a week and a half ago as I was coming out of market. "Are you Mr. Yoder?" "Yeah." "Do you remember me?" And I'm looking at him, and no, I did not remember him. He told me his name, and the name sounded really familiar, and I'm trying to put this young man together with the name, and it wasn't until I was driving here tonight I thought, that's Jose. And when you're a teacher, and I suppose other professions probably experience this as well, but when you're a teacher, those kids take a piece of your heart, and you carry them, even though they're not your kids. So when I see somebody in the newspaper or on Facebook, one of my kids that did well, then I celebrate with them. When I see one of those kids that something bad happened in their life, it tears at you. I think all teachers probably experience that. So I want to tell you about one of my students, and there's no end to this story. I'm just warning you. I know we're supposed to have an end, but there's no end to this story. I'm going to call him Johnny. That's not his real name. When Johnny came into my class, I'm thinking, I've seen this kid before. Like, where have I seen this kid before? I'd never seen the kid before, but when I was a little kid, I would go to my grandma's house on Uncle Paul's farm. There was a little banty rooster that strutted around, and he was like the king of the territory. That was this kid. He was smaller than the rest of them, but he strutted, and he was the kind of kid that got in trouble every single day. Out of all the kids, and I know teachers aren't supposed to have favorites, but we do. Out of all the kids, I think Johnny was the kid that pulled on my heartstring the most. And he really did get in trouble every day. He was somebody whose mind could not keep up with what he did. And out of all the kids that I had in my many years of teaching, I think he came from the toughest background. He was in a foster home when he came to our school. He was there 2 years. His mom had really tough things going on in her life, and Johnny experienced a lot of those really tough things with her. So anyway, Johnny, as I said, he did things, and then he thought about them. So we had this outdoor site at school where I loved taking the kids. And there was a stream, water running through it. And Johnny's mom, foster mom, she got so upset. "Mr. Yoder, if he comes home one more day with messed up clothes, all dirty, I don't know what I am going to do." So I talked to him. I said, we've got to do something so you don't get all dirty, because when you go to the outdoor site, what are you going to do? You're going to get dirty. So, okay, Johnny, we're going to the outdoor site today. Don't get dirty. So we go to the outdoor site, and Johnny wants to be first in line. So we're walking along the edge of the stream, and Johnny's pushing and shoving to get ahead of the rest of the kids. And you know where this is going. He slips on the edge of the stream, and right into the water he goes. And he comes up. He is sputtering. He's throwing mud. He's cursing and swearing. And the kids are all like, whoa. and he's just totally covered with mud and water. And he gets back up, and the kids were still ahead of him. So I'm just ready to say, if you don't push and shove, you won't go down in the water. And guess what? He went back in the water the second time. I admit it, we all just cracked up and started laughing. And eventually he started laughing too. And what could we do? I mean, life is absurd sometimes. Once he got to high school, he went to McCaskey, driving down the street one time. I saw him being put into a police car. I drove half a block, stopped the car. Do I walk back? Do I not walk back? What do I do? I don't know what you would have done. I just kept driving, and then later talked to the person that had adopted him and found out what had happened. He sent me a Facebook message a year ago. Are you the Mr. Yoder? And do you remember me? So I'm planning that he's going to, I call it Stevens Trade, Stevens Technical College this year. It's not the end of the story. But when kids see me and they're, are you Mr. Yoder? That's one of the best moments of my life, whether I can know their name or not know their name. Thank you.